Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another kicking graphic novel review. We have a fun trade for you guys today. Swamp Thing, Volume 4, Cedar. It actually took me a while to get this, because I've read the Scott Snyder run on New 52 Swamp Thing, the first 3 volumes, over and over. It's fantastic. This is a continuation of that with a new creative team, or at least a new writer. Charles Soule, Cano, Jesus Zayas, Alvaro Lopez, Matthew Wilson, etc. I'll read you the back of the book. Seed of Destruction. Dr. Alec Holland is the avatar of the green, and for all plant life on Earth, both God and guardian, he is the Swamp Thing. And he is not alone. Another man has forged a connection with the green, using its powers to bring dying lands back to lush green life. The people who reap the miracles he sows call him a savior. He calls himself the Cedar. But Holland calls him an enemy. Swamp Thing can sense that there's a terrible price to be paid for the Cedar's use and abuse of the green. His quest to put a stop to the Cedar's spree will earn him powerful allies, from an immortal warrior called Capuchin to the Man of Steel himself, Superman, and put him in the crosshairs of deadly enemies, from the psychopathic Scarecrow to the rogue sorcerer John Constantine. Can the Swamp Thing survive the Cedar's deadly harvest? Rising star writer Charles Soule, who I do enjoy, joins gifted artist Cano, Jesus Zayas, and Alvaro Lopez for Swamp Thing Cedar, planting the seeds for a riveting new Swamp Thing saga, collecting issues 19 through 23 and 23.1. This is a very interesting book. Swamp Thing is easily one of my top 5 DC heroes, probably one of my top favorite heroes of all time, because my 2 favorite things in this world are monsters and superheroes, and he's both, and that's just dandy. There are superhero books for Swamp Thing, monster books for Swamp Thing. It's really quite wonderful. He's more of a superhero in the modern day. But it begins with him tearing down things the Cedar created, because the Cedar is abusing and twisting the green, and it's threatening to tear the entirety of the green apart, which would mean no plant life on Earth, which would be bad. And so he visits Metropolis's botanical gardens so he can talk to Superman, because he wants Superman to tell him how he can be more human. Because he used to be human and he doesn't want to lose that humanity. And he runs into Scarecrow, and most of Scarecrow's formulas don't work on him. Scarecrow's there to get a rare flower to use in his fear toxins. And Swamp Thing falls victim to one, and in his nightmare, he almost destroys Metropolis with vines and stuff. And then, so I've talked a lot on multiple channels about why I don't like New 52 Superman, and let's add another thing to the list. He straight up tries to murder Swamp Thing. He tries to kill Swamp Thing in this book, and that's like the first thing he tries. He doesn't try to snap Swamp Thing out of it. He just tries to kill him, and then is surprised when he screams. He tries to kill him with E-Vision, for real. And then he stops, and Swamp Thing's like, how did you know that would snap me out of it? And he was like, I didn't. But he's, like the way it's framed, New 52 Superman tried to kill Swamp Thing. I don't like New 52 Superman. But that was done. Superman gave him some advice after being really rude to him. And then this immortal woman asked him for protection. We still don't have all the details on that. I guess that's in Volume 5. But there's this pact that one of the old avatars used to make with people who worshipped nature to protect them from, like, Christians who were burning them at the stake. And apparently she's trying to invoke that protection. The Cedar makes a tree that grows whiskey for a town, but the whiskey turns people into maniacs. And one of those people that turns into a maniac is John Constantine, who severs Swamp Thing's connection to the green, so that he's extremely weakened. But Swamp Thing does eventually prevail, and then returns to his swamp. Whew. And then we get a Forever Evil issue for Anton Arcane. You remember they had all those .1s and stuff that were for different villains? We get one for Anton Arcane. It shows him in this weird hell, or a personal hell where nothing decays. And then Abigail Arcane comes to him and she's like, hey, motherfucker, Tell me about my mother. And then he tells her about her mother, but uh, spoiler alert, it wasn't her mother. It was a woman she had hired to raise him. And I wouldn't be surprised if she showed up as a villain, actually, in some issue, the way the story was told about her. We also get some of his history, and then the truth about Abigail's mother, which was kind of revealed in Scott Snyder's Swamp Thing, if I remember correctly, but this is an official confirmation that she did kill her own mother with her rot powers as a child. But yeah, Swamp Thing Volume 4 Cedar. Nice little book. It's almost completely an intro into Volume 5, which I have not read yet. I've not gotten past Volume 4, sadly. But I ordered this from my local comic shop. They got it for me real quick. Definitely shop at your local comic shop if you can. If you don't have a local comic shop, local bookstore. If you don't have a local bookstore, well, there's always online. But support your local stores if you can. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time when I think we're going to do some more Batman Beyond.